I don't have a script for this one, so I'm sorry if I ramble a bit, but you've probably noticed there's less frequent, or there will be less frequent uploads to the channel. I'm not forgetting about it, I'm not abandoning it, but I've just been busier than normal for multiple reasons. One is I've started playing League again. That that's a small reason, but that fucking sucks, by the way. I used to be, years ago, so addicted to it. Like, we would play it all the time after school and stuff. And I managed to halt completely. I think it's mostly because when I switched to Linux, there wasn't an easy way to play League, so that helped. But recently, so we've watched some videos we've made with friends, and obviously you only see the good side. You see the times you were laughing about it. So we each were like, oh well, maybe we should play League again. Big mistake. Anyway, yeah, and when I'm in a bad place mentally, I tend to play, not that especially, but tend to want to fill my head with whatever, to not think about it. And it does a decent job at that. And I won't post anything about that here. It's not medieval enough. And I will also not cross promote channels, because that one, I'm speaking French on it, and most French speaking people don't even understand English, so I won't cross promote this one there either. But a bigger reason is I've started what's it called? Formation in French. Training, I guess, for a job, but it takes multiple months to complete. For some context, I have worked different jobs before, very varied, mostly short times, never more than 2 years, I think. Because each time each time I start something, it's like, oh, very, at least back in the day, it's like, oh, this is exciting, this is new. And the people there, I mean, we were able to laugh, so that makes this a bit less daunting. But then you think, oh, wait a minute, multiple years I have to do this? Or until I die, I have to do this? So yeah, electrician training thing I did, installing solar panels. Cool. Only fell off the roof once, but didn't break anything. Then a server, not a computer kind that I studied at school, but in the food industry kind. And the hours are terrible, as everyone knows. But the colleagues were cool, so I didn't really mind. But then, yeah, problems with the boss. You can put up with a lot of stuff. I mean, I can make like an abstraction of, I just let this flow over me and not care about it. But then, if at the same time you think, oh well, this will be my next X amount of years, or my entire freaking life, then I immediately start to think, well, actually I'm gonna leave this minute. That's the sentiment I have on most jobs, basically. But then when there was COVID, actually it was really fucking cool in 2020. No one, well, everyone stayed at home. That was not not abnormal for me anyway, and also there wasn't this expectation of, you have to fucking be productive, be, I mean, productive in the eyes of most people, I mean, which is like contributing to society by having some sort of boss, or I don't know. Because yes, I do hate working, but only in the sense of for someone. If for example, the restaurant I talked about, if that was owned by a family member or a friend, then I think it's really much easier to make sacrifices or to think, oh well, I'm taking these extra hours, or I allow these extra things because, well, there's a relationship there that you want to do right by your family or friend, whatever. There's something I mean, I don't have to explain this. And so I imagine working for yourself, not for money per se, but just to survive. That's so much more rewarding. It's not something that's doable on your own. And also, how could you find a community of like-minded people that, because I live in Belgium, by the way. Finding a job here sucks. I mean, after COVID, because now we are post COVID. It's been a few years. We just started 2026, and since I've done, yeah, right, that's true. I've worked a few days here and there, like officially. Otherwise, I've been making money by just doing work around the house. At first I thought that's fine. I'm just gonna freaking chill until I find a job I want to do. Basically, I studied multimedia in school, and I've tried to be a video editor. I mean, I am one, but not professionally. I've tried to be a professional 3D modeler. I've also done photography and web design, but those things are less, they don't interest me as much, so I didn't really keep up with my skills since I was in school. So I'm guessing, yeah, I would basically, even though I know how everything works, I would basically still be shit at it. And so, yeah, I've tried to win a bit of money with that, but that's so. I think you have to be either so good. Oh, the dog is making noise. You have to be either so good at it, or I don't know. I've tried to make money with this, not with YouTube, I mean, because this channel is brand new. And my other channels, yeah, I've made videos on it and more where hey, stay here. Hey, where was I? Oh yeah, I've tried to make more researched videos, because the last one you've seen here, it's just because I have less time. I do like doing let's plays and stuff, but the most satisfaction I get is doing scripted researched essays about whatever video game or game mechanic I like. But what was I gonna say? Cody, you distracted me, you son of a bitch. I've tried to win money with that, yeah. Oh yeah, so after COVID, because during it, my girlfriend was living with us at the time, with our parents. I mean, my parents, not hers. And for a while after that as well. Then she wanted to have her own place, understandably. Easily got a job as a cashier. But where we live in Belgium, it's an extremely rural area. Everyone talks to everyone. Like, I've not really burned the bridge with the restaurant I worked at, I would say. Even though the boss that was there was mad when she fired me. I don't think it's because I've definitely burned a bridge in the sense where she would tell other people, other bosses around, because it's an extremely touristy area. It's just mostly restaurants and stuff. And each one obviously knows each other and talks about, oh, hire this guy or don't hire this guy. I think I might still have a shot, but in Horeca, as we say in French, I guess you would say food industry, I really fucking hated it. So I've just, while I remained at home, while I was able to, I would just search for jobs that, there was a limit. Not the food industry, not, what's it called? Vendeur, seller, not the one in your house, but uh, I don't know, when you sell things, basically. I don't have to explain this either. And I only looked for things that interested me. At first, I looked for things that were within the realm of my studies, but I can I can safely say that will never happen. And I've also accepted that by this stage that probably I will never do that professionally. So I'll just, obviously, I love it, so I will just continue doing it in private, just as I love writing and world building. And I guess everyone around me or in my class kind of had this same dream, but of making a video game. I've been around long enough and I've seen enough projects to know if you do that, the chance of even winning, breaking even, let's say, it's astronomically low. And you have to put your entire, like all of your free time in it, and preferably more than that, deprive yourself of sleep and stuff. So, I mean, that's also a project that I have in my head, but gotta stay realistic. And so the criteria for what I wanted as a job, it lowered and lowered at a certain time because I do have money saved up and I would like to, well, my girlfriend would like me to move in with her, but also have a job to be able to. I mean, even if I did do that, I I wouldn't want to depend on her. I would want to pay half, even if it is with money only that's in my savings, things that I've saved. At first, I thought I'll just stay with the parents as long as I can, and that in that way, I can accumulate as much wealth as possible to then just, in case I do move out and do not have a job, I can look for one for as long as the remaining money allows, basically. So, and I also want to move in because, she manages on her own. Obviously, she works and can pay for it on her own. But I think if you're living the two of you and everything's separated in two, it's just so much of a. It will be more of a relief for her. Like, oh well, now I have uh, double as much as I used to have as a extra. So that will be reassuring for her. She wanted that, but I had to be working at the same time, not looking. So the criteria I lowered even more of what I would accept to do. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I've applied at so many places, no one replies. And even things I didn't want to do because I said, well, as long as I'm home, I'll just do what I like. Even that, it's so hard. I mean, and I don't know if it's post-COVID thing or if it's because during that period, I've never officially worked, so that means a gap. The CV, I don't know what you call it, but like a gap in experience. And so therefore, I've started training. I don't know how it's called in French. I do know it's called in French, but I don't know in English. Formation, basically training you for a future job. It's not something that I think suits me or who I am. Who cares about that? Like, am I ever gonna make money by being an artist? I've accepted that. No. And if I think about it, I mean, it is security guard, agent de gardiennage in French, and it's the basic training of that. There's lots of different directions you can go after finishing this, let's say, basic training. And the basic one, it's 2,000 euros to follow. In my head, I'm like this. I it doesn't look like I will hate this, and the more I learn about it, because it's been a few months now, and it's going to be a few more. It's going to last until April, I think, end of April, and we're now May. So it's been a few months since I've started it, and don't leave. Oh, he's just stretching. It's been a few months since I started it, and the more I learn of it, the more I think, well, I can make an abstraction and just pretend that it's something that I'm good at. Well, good at. I mean, they told us, oh, people that do this, they have to uh, like rules and enjoy enforcing and following them. And when he was doing his whole speech at the beginning, I was thinking this is entirely not me. But as with any job, actually, that I've done, you just pretend, and in the end, you do it long enough that it becomes like, actually, yeah, I do know perfectly how to do this. I hope, I suppose it won't really change my inner way of thinking or the way I think when I'm not at the job. But that's just a detail. I mean, I can't be thinking about that. I mean, the freaking thing is 2,000 euros, so I better hope uh, that at the end of this training there's more chance, or just maybe even a reassurance that I get hired by someone. I mean, you've done the basic training, and the the other things, because once you've done basic, you can do a few jobs, a few different ones, and then to specialize in whatever, there's a lot of different possibilities. That, well, if you don't have a boss who will pay for that, then you have to freaking pay extra. But I don't think I'll be needing to do the extra things, even though I want to. But I think at the end, I get hired, and the boss is like, oh, I want you to, okay, you can do these and these things. Then I want you to be able to carry a weapon, for example. Okay, I dislike guns, and I don't enjoy shooting them. I have, but I will still say, okay, no problem, sir, and go for the certificate to, what's it called? I mean, to be allowed to carry one, and then you have to maintain it by going X amount of times to the range and stuff. That those type of things, and I would be okay because he pays for it, so okay, I'll do it. And yeah, so that's just an example. So that's what I've been doing, actually. These last there's some weeks where it's 4 days a week, and others where it's less, but I cannot miss any of the courses. And it's one an hour drive away, because as I said, we live in an extremely rural area, not many jobs around here. Even though I've seen one that requires the training that I'm doing right now. But that was before I started. I saw at like 20 minutes from my home. That's basically perfect. You know, you cannot get somewhere closer where I live to work. Like 20 minutes, that's awesome. Uh, but I needed that training that I'm doing right now. So I really hope that it's still available once it ends, once I'm done. Past three exams, and there's still more to come until the end of April. But it's something I mean, I've studied that shit harder than when I was at school, oh, which I was never good at like having like you have to do this. So therefore my what's it called, oppositional defiant mind. I was like, well, I'm actually not going to because I have to. But now I have to do this. I mean, now I don't mind because I really want it, you know. And I have to go drive 120 kilometers more, but let's round it down, that I have to do every day to get there and come back. So I drive like 1 hour to go and 1 hour to come back, and that takes up a lot of time. But I don't mind. I'm doing this because, I mean, honestly, I would never have done this on my own. You know, on my own, I would just have waited until something that I enjoy comes around. When is that ever gonna happen? It's been like I think 6 years of me searching, and you know, during that time was the high criteria to lower, lower, lower. That was in a span of 6 years. So within that time, that thing, whatever it is that I enjoy, never came around. So I had to take initiative and do a training. And sure, it's a long one, kind of. But I think at the end, it's better prompt me with a job. You know, I would never have done that on my own. But I really do want to move out, not because uh, it's not awesome, the situation I have here. I mean, it's actually amazing. I love both my parents. There is really no, I mean, on my own, I wouldn't have been pushed to do this. And I don't regret it. I mean, I've learned to understand certain things. I'm still in the middle of it, so I'm gonna learn much more. But I mean, I've deeper understanding in the sense of like I'm thinking actually this might suit me. The protecting side, maybe less so the you have to enjoy rules side, which I still will have to adhere to, but the making sure everything is fine, everyone is fine. Yeah, you know, just the protecting people side of things. That talks to my existing personality already. And I do not think, at least I don't hope, change because of that. But I think that's just most people. I don't have to worry about that side. That's just most people. They actually are a certain way at work, and then at home it's entirely different. That's just normal. I mean, I'm not stressing about that at all. I don't even know why I'm saying it, but I'm just saying the I've been prompted to do this because I want to move in with her, and I thought maybe the end. I mean, the savings I have, they would last. I mean, I know for a fact they would last until the end of the training. So I wanted to already move in, and at the end, you know, that kind of thing. But if she wants to me to already be working when I move in, well, fine. It will be a bit more time, but what's a few months more? Because I know that, at first it did kind of scare me in a sense of just the unknown, but that's pretty normal, I suppose, for anybody that starts something new. The unknown of like moving out and, oh, will things work out? You know. But I know in my mind that I want to spend the rest of my life with this girl or woman, I should say. We're all still just kids in my mind, but so I know that I want to spend the rest of my life with her, and we'll probably, in my mind, we'll for sure get married, but probably also have kids one day. Who knows? At first, when I wasn't with her, the the thought of having kids, I always said that's not for me. It's never gonna happen. Child free, and all that stuff. As I think a lot of people are, up to a point, or up to the moment that they meet the right person. I mean, probably. I didn't know if it was the right person at first. We've been together 6 years now, and there's been low points and good points, as there always are, I suppose. But after that time and her saying at first she didn't want any kids, I was like, well, fine, that's fine by me. And then turning around, which I do not think that's a lie, to like get in my good side and then slide that in afterwards and hope that I change my mind. I do not think that is the case, because with most women, when she got with me, she was pretty young, I think 19 years old. So at that time, I mean, some girls know that they will want children, obviously, at that age. But I think most people that do not think so, there is a change that happens at a certain age, and it's different for everyone. But I feel that there's this feeling, this kind of instinct is much stronger for women. They have some sort of maternal clock instinct or whatever, where actually they do want kids. And so I didn't feel like betrayed or lied to because of that. I completely understand. I was against it at first, but after having some distance and having some more years with her, uh, I actually can see, because I already saw us both together in the long term future. So what does having kids change? I mean, that's not gonna change that. We'll still be together, and I just want to make her happy. So it's something I'm able, I hope, to give her. So I will, just like the training that I'm also doing for her, because I want, it's good to have your own view of how the world should work, ideally, living in a small community, and all that stuff. It's all good if you manage to have like minded people that don't put as much value in money, the euro, and value other things more. But it's also normal, because just society has programmed everyone this way. I I don't wanna we live in a society meme here, but her way of thinking, it's not wrong per se, because everyone tells her, oh, uh, this is how it always was, this is how it always will be, why would it change? You have to do this at this stage of your life, you have to do this, and then comes the kids, and then you both have to work. I mean, back in the day, it wasn't like this, but everything's getting so freaking expensive. There is no way anymore to raise a kid and just one parent works. I mean, there's a way, but uh, I mean, some people I've seen them do it, but they're helped, I'm pretty sure, by the state. But you know, there's just the most logical and logistical thing. Both work, you do it that way. And that's how everyone does it and how everyone tells her it should be. So I accept that she thinks that way. Maybe she doesn't have to agree with my way of thinking, just as long as she understands it. And because I myself understand it's not viable unless you find the right group of people. So yeah, that's also another thing. I guess that's basically it. I'm doing it for her, but because I want to, you know. And finding a job in what I'm training to do, I think it will be an exciting prospect. And also, it's not per se going to be super repetitive, like the food industry, for example. From what I've seen, the missions can be varied, and every single person that's in class with me, there's 19 of us. They're super chill, very cool. So that makes the hours traveling, studying much less painful. But I'm way excited to be at the end of this still though. Like I have to, if I fail the exam, I don't have to do everything again, but I will just have to redo the module that I failed. And so that's extra fucking money. I don't want I'm I'm praying, but also I will have to study fucking harder than I've ever studied before. Not not as I did in school to just make it first try. I've already made it through 3 exams, so I mean the spirits and hopes are high. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I've talked long enough. I've updated you quite enough. I thought about doing a Q&A as well, but the video is long as it is, so that will be probably another time. In the meanwhile, there's probably gonna be the already remaining videos in the pipeline that still get uploaded, and I will try to continue, but don't expect loads of videos. But I'm not dead yet, and I'm not forgetting about the channel either. I will tell will tell you if it is, if it comes to that. But I'm not going anywhere, and neither should you. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I will see you when I see you.